Welcome to the Advanced Freelancing Podcast. Every week, you'll hear strategies for building your online service-based business your way. And now, here's your host, veteran freelancer, author, and TEDx speaker, Laura Briggs.
Welcome back to another episode of the Advanced Freelancing Podcast. Today, I'm talking about 7 signs you have an issue with your money mindset that you need to set aside the time and energy to fix as a freelancer. A lot of times we don't think that we have money mindset issues as freelancers. After all, we spend a lot of our time talking about money, thinking about pricing, and wondering what to charge a client or when to raise rates for a client. But there's a lot of sneaky money mindset issues that can emerge in your day-to-day life that are easily squashed down and kind of forgotten about, right? These can show up, however, and be really problematic for you as it relates to up-leveling in your freelance business. So things might be really good for a while, and then you might eventually hit a block, right? So that was definitely the case for me, making about the same amount of money as a freelancer for well over a year and just kind of getting frustrated with, well, why can't I ever seem to do any better than this, no matter what clients I have on my roster or how many projects I'm working on at a time. Sneaky money mindset issues can catch you at the moments that you least expect them. And a lot of times, even though these money mindset limiting beliefs are buried down pretty deep, they can definitely be the things that are holding us back from being able to confidently quote a price increase to a client or to charge the rate that we're finally comfortable with and really deserve based on our expertise. So in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about 7 signs you need to think about money mindset and figure out a strategy to accomplish a better money mindset. What is going to be the strategy that you bring to the table to figure out what are my limiting beliefs as it relates to money? Why are these so important? And what can I do to untangle that work that has already happened? I am a huge advocate for mindset in general, but money mindset in particular. It can be very difficult to scale your freelance business if you have some negative money beliefs. And it's very possible that you can scale your business to replace your day job, to hit the 6-figure revenue level, and still have money mindset issues. Absolutely, right? We all have different blocked points. Maybe when you started, it was inconceivable for you to make $1,000 a month. And then after you did that, maybe it felt like it would be impossible for you to hit $5,000 a month. Along the way, you worked on those different money mindset issues, whether it was being inspired by someone else's story or just charging the same rate for so long that you realized you needed to charge more. And those smaller money mindset issues can often be dealt with without you even having to think about it, right? So you don't have to worry too much about what is it here that's blocking me from going to my next level in my business. I love talking about money mindset because if you don't have the mindset and the strategy piece in place, you will not be able to successfully scale your business the way you want to. And you can have all the strategy in the world, but if you do not also have the mindset that goes along with it, you will really struggle to be successful in growing your business, in branching out to new things in your business as well. So I'm going to talk to you about my 7 signs that there's a money mindset issue. Number 1 is so simple, but it is amazing how many freelancers don't have it. It's a business bank account. Why does this matter for your money mindset? Because you might be thinking, well, isn't that more of a legal issue? Does it really matter if I have a separate bank account for my business? It does. It is getting your energy behind treating this business like a business from day one, and that requires you to be thinking about this like a company that is separate from your own personal bank account. So not only does that make things a lot easier from a tax planning perspective and really getting a good sense of your revenue, it shows that you have made an internal compartmentalization around the idea of your business being a part of you, an extension of you, but it really is a thing that runs on its own. And you are honoring your money and honoring your business by doing the proper steps and having a business bank account. This also is a separate bank account that doesn't get commingled with your personal funds, right? So in the business bank account, you want to set specific goals for what you're going to be making on a monthly basis. So you don't want any other expenses or any other income coming into that account and muddying the water waters. You really want something separate where you can set aside time on a regular basis to review all of the income and expenses and to set new goals. So that's an easy one. If you don't have it yet, it's the perfect opportunity to go ahead and set up that business bank account. There are lots of different companies that do this online. Novo, that's spelled Novo, is a great one that makes it super easy for you to upload, proof of ownership in the business and your incorporation documents and get you ready and rolling in just a couple of days. It's also a signifier of a commitment to the professionalism you bring to your business. For a lot of clients, right? They want to see that you are a true professional. And so if you have an LLC name, you will put the bank account in the name of the LLC. This is what will be on your invoices, right? You're really treating this like a professional, even though you may be the only person in the business. So the second sign that you might have an issue with money mindset is another one that might not really seem like it could be caused by money limiting beliefs. This is you don't pitch enough or are scared to pitch big clients. Crazily enough, it is possible to be concerned about marketing your business because you're worried about having the sales call, or you are worried you will actually get the client. And then what, right? So there's a little bit of imposter syndrome and feeling like a fraud going on there if you're choosing not to market your business, or if you just don't feel any motivation whatsoever to market your business. And at the same time, you're going, I don't have enough booked business. I don't have enough clients to work with right now. So the third thing is letting clients talk you down or self-negotiating with them. Now, a lot of work goes into deciding what your rate is as a freelancer. In fact, I believe most freelancers overthink it a lot. They sit on proposals way too long. They turn it over in their mind, and usually it's to reduce their price because they're worried the client will say no based on the numbers alone. If you have done your job and you've positioned yourself well and you're not crazily overpriced for a service that is in demand, it doesn't take that much effort to come up with your proposal rates, your retainer rates, etc. Now, if you propose a rate that is fair out the door and the client immediately wants a discount and you always honor that and just go, you know what, it sounds like if they're asking for a discount, this means they're really close to signing and I just haven't yet brought them in the door on this project. You are automatically talking yourself out of a rate that you had already claimed, out of a rate you already felt deserving of. And so it's not honoring your situation when you do that every single time. Now, sometimes maybe it's a client that is offering a benefit in another way, or maybe it's a friend of a family. And so maybe a little bit of a discount is expected, but not every single time, right? And you don't even have to offer discounts ever, to be honest. But if you want to, you can. It just should not be every single situation. Now, what is self-negotiation? That's when you set your mind on a price and then immediately talk yourself down out of it. You start saying, well, I was going to quote $200 for this project, but that's going to seem like a lot of money to this client because they're a small business owner. So I'm just going to quote $150. So before you've even given it over to the client to negotiate, you have talked yourself out of your rate. Sign number 4 that you have an issue with your money mindset is that you have low-paying clients who aren't just on your client roster, they've been there forever. You've let them get away with this for years. You have never broached the subject of bringing up your rates or increasing your retainer, and by now it would seem super awkward to do it because 8 months, a year, 3 years has gone by and you've never brought up this topic. And so, yes, it will be a little bit more awkward to bring that up if you've never discussed it with the client before, but rate raises are to be expected on a reasonable level. Now, I once knew a freelancer who increased their hourly rate by $45 an hour every couple of months. Now, eventually they lost a lot of their clients because it wasn't so much to do with the rate. It was the client never feeling like they could get their feet under them with understanding what this freelancer charges. But that is definitely the exception for a lot of freelancers. Admit it, there are people on your client roster who are probably not paying you enough. And the fear of losing the business has kept you from ever asking for a reasonable rate increase, and then allow that to go on long enough and it's turned into your fear of ever asking for a rate increase because it would be too uncomfortable now. So the next sign that you're suffering from money mindset issues is you try to do everything in your business on your own. Now, there are some other people out there who will tell you that you can scale your business and not have any support help whatsoever. And while that may be true, my response to that is always, but why would you want to, right? So Outsourcing things in your personal or your business life is a great way to honor your time and your energy. It allows you to show up effectively for your clients and for the other projects that you work on, other businesses you have, other pursuits you have. It even helps you show up more effectively when it's time for your family or when you're hanging out with your friends or working on your hobbies, because you have cleared the clutter and taken away tasks that you don't want to do, don't know how to do, are not good at, so they take forever for you to do, ones that you procrastinate on. So I am a huge fan of outsourcing. I don't believe you need to outsource everything in your life. There's a nice balance between running a six-figure or multiple six-figure business by yourself, which is super stressful and a sure recipe for burnout, and the Tim Ferriss 4-hour workweek model, which is you outsource everything and don't show up and do any work. You can do a lot with a small team, and you will make your life a lot better for it because you will be prepared to delegate and grow your team in the future, but you will learn a lot of lessons through delegation, and you will also remove things from your plate that honestly you should not be doing anyways. Freelancers are notorious for wearing so many hats in their business, and a lot of us do it by necessity. At the beginning, when you're only making $2,000 or $3,000 a month as a freelancer, you can't also budget for someone to delegate tasks to. But as your business grows, hiring someone even to take a couple of hours off your plate is a great place to start for you to build your confidence in outsourcing and for you to get some of that, not just physical time, but the mental space back for you to focus on other things. I know when I can effectively hand over an ongoing project or a task that I have taken as far as I can take it to someone on my team, it gives me the creative freedom and the excitement about approaching that subject, right? Because I don't want to handle the tech piece. I don't want to handle the graphic design. So when I make something, I focus on coming up with a good title, coming up with great content, and maybe making some suggestions for the final formatting. But knowing that I don't have to do anything with the graphic design except approve it when it's been completed by my team allows me to create something that I love and get it done on time, and then still have a completed, fully finished project that looks really good because my skill set is not in graphic design. So too many freelancers try to do all the things, right? They're the vice president of 17 different departments in their business. As time goes on, I strongly encourage you to think about how this can really be a money mindset issue. It's an issue of worth. It's an issue of feeling concerned that you won't have enough ongoing revenue coming in to continue to be able to pay this person. It is the concern that, isn't it crazy? Like, who do I think I am that I'm outsourcing to someone else? But even one person on your team, or even paying someone to set up a piece of software that will send out your invoices on an automatic basis, or a bookkeeper to do the 2 hours a month of work that you don't need to be doing, can liberate you little by little. And as you gain that confidence, you can start to grow a bigger team. And I really believe it's not just important for your sanity. It is a money mindset issue. Think about how your business is serving other people through the money that you create. You are taking $20 an hour, $30 an hour, $40 an hour tasks and handing them off to someone else because you are charging $75, $100, $200 an hour, whatever it might be. You are helping the freelance economy yourself by hiring other freelancers to help you grow your business. So you're giving them great opportunities. You're honoring the rate that you charge and hold for yourself and what your time is worth. And you are keeping yourself from going crazy from trying to do all the things, because I guarantee you, you will burn out, or you will get stuck at a level where all you can really handle is a certain number of freelance projects, and you will feel limited or frustrated by that. So your business is going to hit a point where being able to delegate and stopping the doing of everything on your own is crucial for your next level. Now, step number 6, sign number 6, that you are struggling with some money mindset issues is you let your clients pay late. And I don't mean that one client who literally was on vacation, or the person whose email inbox gets cluttered, or the person who the accounting department works in a totally different area than your actual point of contact at the company. I'm talking about the clients who pay 2, 3, 4 weeks late. They mail you a check and you have to spend 3 hours emailing back and forth to their accounting person, asking where it is and them saying it's been mailed and you didn't get it. This is a habitual issue with certain clients. They just don't honor the payment terms, and a couple of things should be happening on your end when clients do this. Gentle reminders. There should be clauses in your contracts about late fees, and You should have a policy of how many times you will allow a client to do this before you say, unfortunately, I can't work together because it's too much of a hassle for me to try to get my payments sorted out. So don't let your clients pay late. You can, of course, have a grace period. You can have leniency for those clients that are really going through some type of struggle, or, the invoice never got delivered to them, or whatever technical or other issue happened. But don't let the habitual late payers stay on your client roster. And they may be surprised when you say, we're parting ways because of this one issue alone. But it is worth it for you to not have to spend time chasing these clients down. You cannot project cash flow in your freelance business if you literally never know when your money is coming. And so that's very frustrating also as a freelancer, because you're thinking, you know what? I showed up and I met my deadline. I turned my work in. I turned the revisions around. I was very prompt in all my communication with this client, and now they're not paying me and it feels like they're ghosting me. That is very frustrating for you and just really is not something you should have to deal with. Now, the final sign you're dealing with some money mindset, limiting beliefs, and issues is you're not seeing the connection between your own actions and where you want to go. So these are actually really deep-seated money limiting beliefs, and some of the most difficult to overturn, because these are the people who say, freelancing has changed. It's just not what it used to be. Upwork is terrible. There are never any good jobs posted anywhere. Clients have all dried up and disappeared. No one wants to hire for blah, blah, blah service anymore. Or I just can't ever make any money, and it's the fault of the world. It's the fault of the job boards. It's the fault of other freelancers charging too much. Listen, you are responsible for a lot in your freelance business, and there are direct connections between the actions you take, including those thoughts and limiting beliefs you have around money and how those can negatively impact you and show up throughout your business. So there are direct connections between your beliefs, your actions, and the outcomes that you get often. Now, do bad things still happen to good people? Of course they do, but you have to be willing to push through those money mindset limiting beliefs that make you think otherwise or take no personal accountability for the issues in your business, right? And this is a hard one, right? Because we have to take that on ourselves and say, you know what? This is just a way in which I have not been showing up in my business successfully. I am pushing it off on everyone else and saying that it is the world's fault. It is the freelancing market's fault. There's too many people. There's too much competition. There's so many reasons why I could never get great clients. But at the end of the day, I have to show up and do all of those pieces in my business that allow me to work with great clients, from doing the right marketing to being consistent with my follow-up to giving my clients a great experience every single time to making it easy for them to sign up and want to continue to work with me. And so if any of those pieces along that trajectory are missing, that is on me. That is not the economy's fault. That is not the world's fault. Now, I'll tell you something interesting too, that I added a lot of people to my LinkedIn over the course of 2020 as I was growing my audience for the book launch of Six Figure Freelancer. And I added over 5,000 connections on LinkedIn, specifically with people who were freelance writers. So they were writers specifically, but they were all independent contractors and professionals. And in my connection messages, I always ask the same question first, because I was connecting with them from about April through December of 2020. And my question was all about, had the pandemic affected their freelance business? And I will tell you, from looking at all of those responses, 80% of the people who responded to me said they were just as busy, if not busier. Now, the 20% said, yes, I've lost everything. I had to go back to get a job. It's been really hard to find clients, but they were far and away the minority of that group. And so that just goes to show you there's always opportunity, even when there are events outside our control, such as a global pandemic. And this is not to make light of all of the people whose businesses were severely impacted by the pandemic or the effect of a crisis or something like that, right? But as a freelance professional, if something were to affect your business, you're savvy and you're smart and you would pivot. And it would not be the fault of, anyone else if you didn't pivot, right? And so when things happen to us that feel outside our control, I often think about that as, what if artificial intelligence gets to the point where it can write SEO articles? What would I do in my business to pivot and continue to be successful? And so It's on me to look at those trends. It's on me to do everything I can to minimize those risks and to be prepared to pivot if I need to. But it is nobody's fault if technology, which is the same thing that allows me to have a freelance business anyways, continues to evolve and gets better at what it was intended to do. And so everything in my business, 99% of every outcome I get in my business is because of the work that I do and the mindset that goes behind it. There are not other things that are other people's responsibilities or the policies of job boards that ruin everything, or the limited reach of Facebook groups not putting me in front of my right clients, or any of those things. It's on me, and it's on you to continue pivoting and growing your business as it evolves. Now, I love talking about money mindset. I have a 5-part training that I want to share with you. If this has made you interested in learning more about having a good money mindset, it also comes with an incredible 27-page money mindset workbook to help you identify your limiting beliefs and to kind of reframe and work through those. So there's a webinar in there, and then there's 4 different trainings about money mindset. And I'm so excited to be able to share it with you. You can check that out at bit.ly/money mindset Laura, and the M in money and mindset, they are both capitalized, and the L in Laura is capitalized. So that's bit.ly/money mindset Laura. And you can check out that money mindset workshop series and grab the planner that is inside of there. This is a fully digital course that is delivered via the workbook is a fillable PDF. There are worksheets that you download with each of the 4 modules, and everything else is a video course. So I hope to see you inside.